Hey guys, I'm sure you've had this before. I'm sure you've had people saying, "Oh, he's lucky," or "They are lucky," or things just happen to them. If you've ever said those words, to be honest with you, there's actually logic towards those people that you think they're lucky or they're in the right place or whatever you want to say it. Now, there's the good old saying that you are a product of the five people you surround yourself with, or something like that. I want to share with you a very interesting story. I came to Australia maybe some 20 years ago, and landing here in Australia, um, I only had a dream, and that dream was to come to a first world country, which anyone you will know from a third world country, it's one of the things they would like to do. So from going from one step to another, I found myself. I'm not going to bore you with all the story of where I went and what happened. That's if you're going to follow me, I'm sure you'll be able to find those little things that I had to do. But I had to find my what did I want in life? I wanted to become a very good trainer, a very successful trainer. So all along, I started looking at how can I become a trainer. And lucky or not lucky, I ended up at a place called Good Life, which is a big box gym. And I remember I had a guy there by the name of Justin. This guy was just an amazing trainer, and he was doing I think over 60 sessions a week. And all I wanted to do was to be like him. And my goal was to be a very good trainer. So I started hanging around with all these trainers so that I can know what is it that they do to become such good trainers. I took a bit of a diversion there and I started doing bodybuilding, and all of a sudden I started hanging around with people who actually they loved bodybuilding. They started, encouraging me to do things like competition, which they're all things that I did, and they actually added so much value to what I was doing and what I wanted to be at that time, which was to be a very good coach or to be a good trainer. When you do a bit of competition, what happens is you add a bit of value to yourself, and people think or know that since you've done a bodybuilding show, you know what you're talking about. But something happened. I had a bigger vision, and that bigger vision was I wanted to have my own gym. I just wanted to. I didn't think about what a gym entitled, but I just had a vision that I would like to have my own gym, and I would like to high five people when they come to the gym and do all that stuff. So I started asking people who are around me, how can I start a gym? And to be honest with you, because my surrounding was involved people who were personal trainers and people who were into bodybuilding, the feedback that I got was very different. I only got feedback guys telling me, "Oh, have you ever? Where are you going to get the money? Have you ever been told that startup business failed in the first 2 years? Do you know how to run a gym?" And the people were surrounding me, which I term as proximity. When we talk about proximity, people just think about where you live, but proximity, there's more detail to proximity. So when I asked this question to the people that I used to hang out with, it became very clear they didn't have any solution for me. As a matter of fact, they were putting the problem so much in my face that I could not find a way out. And after around maybe a year, I kind of changed the approach. I was training some clients who had ran their businesses and they were successful in business. And I remember one day, there's this guy called Mike Terry. And I asked him, "Mike, you're very lucky to have business." And Mike turned around to me and he said, "Tom, I will never forget this." He turned around to me and he said, "Tom, there's no luck in life." And I said, "What do you mean? You're lucky, you're very successful?" He says, "No. The only way you are lucky in life is by hard work meeting an opportunity." And I said, "I wish I would be lucky to have my own gym." And right there, Mike asked me a question that changed a lot of the things that most of my friends or my proximity, the people that I hanged around with, used to do. Mike said to me, "What kind of gym do you want to have? Have you looked at premises or commercial property? Have you spoken to the bank?" Now, all of a sudden, my mind started looking for solutions. But before, the people that I was talking to, I was faced by problems. It's very easy because your mind is meant to protect you. So when you're faced by a problem, the mind tells you, don't go there. But when you're faced by a question that needs you to think, your mind starts thinking and giving you solution. I didn't think too much about it. The next day, or in that week, I spoke to one of my clients again who was running a very successful business in financial planning. And it was amazing how different the approach was towards me starting a gym. As a matter of fact, I asked around 4 people who had their own business, and the approach was very different. After listening to them, it became clear that I had to change my proximity. I had to change the people that I surround myself with if I wanted to get a different result. So you remember when I said people say that blah or so and so is lucky? There's no luck in life. Just like Mike Terry told me. Luck means hard work meeting an opportunity. And the people you surround yourself with, they can either break you or make you. If people you surround yourself with, they look at the worst part of the scenario, or they look at the scenario in a really negative place, or you're faced by all these obstacles and that's what they're pushing to you, it becomes very hard for you to see the good on the other side. Just like my clients, you need to have people who can help you or who can challenge the way you're thinking so that you can get questions, you can get answers to the questions that you need to be able to tackle. So what am I trying to say here? There might be something that you want to achieve in your life. Could be a relationship, it could be a business, could be anything, a new job. I want you to ask yourself, who's in your circle? Who's cheering for you? And is that person encouraging you to go forward? Because I can tell you this, I had 2 options. And those 2 options, one of them was to believe in what my personal training group told me, to believe into what the bodybuilding guys used to tell me. And there's nothing wrong with that, to be honest. I'm not saying they're bad. I just had a different, maybe, goals and things to achieve. I could have believed that, or I had to change my proximity, the people that I'm talking to, the language that I'm using, what I'm reading, what I'm listening to be able to achieve what I wanted. So proximity to me, it's a big thing. If you want to achieve something in your life, if you want to get somewhere in your life, there's a few things that you need to do. You need to audit where you are. You need to audit your friends. Are your friends cheering for you or not? You also need to look at what are your surroundings. Are your surrounding placing you in places that you're going to win or not? What are you listening to? Because trust me, what you listen to subconsciously gets into your mind and you start believing in that. What are you reading? Because what you read, you become, and you believe in that. These are just the few things that actually forms what proximity is. So if you're not winning, do an audit of where you are on those things. And trust me, if you're willing to get out of your comfort zone, to change your proximity, there's magic waiting for you to happen. The decision is yours. You remain the same or change, become better to what you want to be. It's time to keep it real.